Hello, welcome back. So in today's class, we are going to talk more. We are going to dive deep into input devices. So we are going to understand input devices, the types of input devices, how they work, how they communicate with the computer, and also how they communicate with human beings. So we are going to understand more about input devices in this class today. So we'll talk about devices that feed data into a computer. So input devices are basically devices that feed data into the computer. Without input devices, the computer cannot get data from human beings or from users. So teaching points, we'll be looking at some examples of input devices, the keyboard, the mouse, the scanner, excuse me, the camera, the microphone. So we'll be looking at the examples of these input devices. We'll also take a look at the difference between manual input and automatic input. Example of manual input is the keyboard, automatic input is the barcode scanner. Now, we are going to be seeing how input devices have even evolved. In this class, we are going to understand how input devices have evolved from manual input, the traditional input devices like keyboard, how they have evolved to barcode, VR, and other stuff. So we are going to be taking a look at them here. So in case I mention something that you don't understand, it's okay. Most of the times we might be using here might not be something we are used to, we have heard before, but just understand that in this class, we are going to be making you understand more about how input devices work. So, and as you grow, as you keep on learning, some of these things that I'll be mentioning here will make more sense to you later on, okay? So an input device is a piece of hardware. So it means that an input device is a hardware. It's not a software, it's a hardware that allows users to enter data, commands, and signals into a computer system for processing. So input devices you remember we have two parts of the computer, the hardware and the software. All right. We have hardware, we have software. Hardware are the physical things that we can touch, but software is something we cannot touch. We can't even see it. Okay. So an input device is a piece of hardware. So we can touch it. All right. So it allows users to enter data, commands, and signals into a computer system for processing. So it is the only way you can give data to the computer. It's the only way you can give command or signals to the computer for processing. So without the input device, we cannot communicate with the computer. So without input devices, humans cannot communicate or interact effectively with computers. So every computer needs an input device. There has to be a way that you give computer the data that they are looking for. There has to be a way to communicate with the computer or interact with the computer. So what are the functions of input devices? The first one is data entry. So we use the input device to enter text, numbers, images, audios, videos. There are a couple of data types that we can actually enter into the system. So data entry is one of the functions of input devices. So input devices allow us to enter text, somebody's name, somebody's address. All right, input devices allow us to enter numbers, images, audio, or video. Okay, so input devices. So input devices allow us to control to give it is for controlling applications. Okay, so input device, one of the functions is control and command. So we can use it to control applications. Use example, the mouse, the keyboard, and shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. We can use it to control and give computer commands. So with the mouse, you can click on an icon. That icon could just be giving a computer command to run that application that you have clicked. So keyboard shortcut can also be another way of giving control and command. So input devices are also useful for interaction. It allows communication with software. So we also have something like game controllers. They are um, they allow us to communicate with software. Okay. You might not understand what we are doing here now, but don't worry, as you grow, you're going to understand more about all these things. Okay. We have more things to teach you. So you are going to see how, as we grow, you'll be like, oh, yeah, he mentioned it the other time. You're going to see how input devices allow us to communicate with software. All right. So input devices allow us to do data entry, control and commands, interaction with software, digitization. So digitization, converting real world information into a form the computer understands. Now the thing is that the data you're giving the computer through the input device, the computer does not take it like that. The computer does not understand the data you're typing. The computer does not understand English language. So the computer only understands computer language, machine language. So once you type in or give computer any information, the input device will convert it to the language that the computer understands, or it will convert the data to the form that the computer understands. So when you type in 1,000, when you say 20 plus 20, all right, the input device will take that 20 plus 20 and convert it to the form that the computer would understand. Computer would not understand 20 plus 20. Computer understands something we call zeros and ones, the binary numbers. All right. So when you type in anything or give information to the computer through the input devices will convert it to the form that the computer would understand. Like I already said, computer does not understand the things that you're typing directly. You as a human being, you understand that, but the computer does not understand it. So the input device will convert it to the form that the computer would understand. So that's what we mean by digitization. Okay. So characteristics of input devices, the direction of data flow, they always send data from user to computer. So now input devices would always send data from user to computer. Input devices does not send data from computer to user. No. Input devices send data from user to computer. It cannot be the other way around. When it is the other way around, that means it becomes output device. So the direction of data flow for input devices is sending data from user to the computer. That's the direction of data flow. So how does data flow? Data flows from user to computer. That is the only way. Data flows from user to computer. So the user gives data information to the computer. Input devices also convert real-world input into machine-readable form. Like I already told you, the form of the data you're giving the computer does not understand that data form. So the input devices will convert that data into the form that the computer would understand. Don't worry, as you go on, as we continue to teach you, we are going to teach you the form that computer understands, the language that computer speaks. That is when computer programming language is coming to play. Do you understand it? So we speak English, but the computer speaks machine language. All right. We speak English language. The computer speaks machine language. So that is what you're going to be learning. You're going to be learning computer programming languages, how we'll also be understanding the form. When in later weeks, we'll talk about computer architecture, we'll talk about data abstraction and data manipulation. So when we get to that point, we're not going to tell you how computers manipulate data, how computers work with data, the form of data they work with. Okay. But in this case, now you're understanding that input devices will convert the data that you give it, whether you speak to it, whether you use a microphone and you speak to it, whether you use a keyboard and type, whatever means you use, the input device will convert that data into the form that the machine would understand. Okay. Input devices, there's variety of data. So input devices accept variety of data. We have text, we have numbers, we have sound, we have images, we have gestures, we have biometric info. So there are variety of data, and input devices accept these forms of data. Okay, so input devices have speed and accuracy. So input devices are faster and more accurate than manual data entry. All right. Barcode reader versus typing product code. So have you, of course, you have gone to a supermarket, and when you buy something or when you go with your dad, you will see that when you take the things that you have bought to the supermarket, to the counter where the I don't even know what they call them. At least those people that will attend to you and then check how much your the products worth. So they would take the product that you bought and scan it somewhere. That thing you hear, boom, when you hear that sound. So that thing is called barcode reader. Okay, so the user does not need to type in the product code. With that barcode reader, they will just put it in front of the barcode reader. The barcode reader will read it. So barcode reader is also an input device. So it is faster and more accurate than typing product code. So input devices are very fast and accurate. Okay. So examples of everyday use, typing a report. So when you're typing something, or maybe you see your dad typing something on the computer, maybe they are typing a report or anything at all, that is a keyboard at work. All right. So you see your computer, even on your phone, if it's on your phone, all right, you also type on your with your keypad. All right, with your phone, you type you when you want to type message to somebody, you want to send your dad message or you want to send your mom message, all right, you use the keypad, the phone keypad to type. So for some people, some of you who play game, all right, when you're playing game, you're using the joystick or the game controller. So as you want to shoot or you want to strike, whatever. I'm not a gamer, Sha. So, but of course, you guys use joystick and game controller to control the game. Like for people who play football, if you want to shoot or you want to play a pass, you use the joystick to, you understand? So, joystick and game controllers are input devices. Even if you're playing the game on your phone, all right, as you're also tapping on some buttons on your phone. You also giving that's also input. Okay, so drawing artwork, also graphics, tables, and stylus. Okay, scanning documents. Okay, if you have scanned document before, you understand what I'm saying. So you go to those people who scan it, or if you have a scanner, you just place your document on top of it and it will scan it. All right. Unlocking a smartphone using your fingerprint sensor. So some people use their fingerprint to unlock their phone. That's an input device. The fingerprint sensor is an input device. So some people also use their face. So that those things are input. So the thing is that when you put your fingerprint, all right, you're giving data to the computer. So you're giving your fingerprint, the details of your fingerprint to the computer. Voice commands, all right, when you use microphone, just like right now, I am making this video, I'm using the microphone and I'm talking to the computer, and the computer is recording my voice. Do you understand? So these are types of input devices. Advantages of input devices: easy and fast communication with computers. We cannot do without input devices. It allows entry of different types of data, any type of data at all. It enhances user experience, especially touch screens and virtual reality, VR. All right. So it enhances user experience. So when you're using touch screen on your phone, it's easier than to type. Touch screens are easier. It improves accuracy in specialized tasks. Example, OMR for exam. So we'll talk about OMR later on. Okay. So what are the disadvantages? It can be expensive. Some of the input devices are expensive, like the biometric scanners. They are very, very expensive. And although they are not used by everybody, they are used for special purposes. They are prone to wear and tear, so they also spoil. Like if you use your keyboard for a long time or your mouse, it will spoil. Do you understand? So some keys will not be working again. Some require training to use effectively, like the graphics tablets. They need training, so you need to be trained to use it. Security risks: voice and facial recognition can be hacked. Okay, voice and facial recognitions can be hacked. Okay, so let's talk about the feature of input devices. So let's say what in the next coming years, what will happen. All right. So, in the nearest future, all right, we will be seeing brain-computer interfaces. These are input devices. So they will be controlling computers with thoughts. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Oh. So computer will be listening to your thoughts, what you're thinking inside your mind. The computer will be listening to it. Wow, that's great. Brain computer interfaces. So computer will be listening to the thoughts you have in your mind. So now if you're saying something about, let's say you're saying something wrong about somebody, all right, they can actually use the brain computer interface to read your thoughts. Wow, that would be amazing. Now, there's something we call augmented reality inputs. So you can use hand gestures or eye tracking to talk to the computer. When you make some gestures, all right, you can use eye even if you blink your eye, it can be a signal to the computer, telling some computer to do something. Oh my God. So these are going to be the feature of input devices. AI-powered voice inputs, more accurate speech recognition. So of course, these AI-powered inputs are already here. When you talk to Siri or when you talk to Google, all right. So, but the thing is that over time it's going to be more accurate. All right. So haptic feedback devices, touch sensitive gloves for virtual reality. All right. It's going to be amazing. You see the reason why you should learn this. You should become a computer programmer. You should build a career in tech. Tech is a very big thing these days. All right. And it's amazing that you have started learning this thing at a very young age. Most of us learned this thing when we were already old. All right. But right now, your brain is working very fine. You don't have any distractions. So you should go into this. And this is the platform where we teach you. We are going to groom you. We are going to teach you to become a genius. All right. We're going to teach you to become a genius. So in summary, input devices act as the gateway between humans and computers. So they are the gateway between humans and computers. So input devices are your gate man. All right. When visitor comes to you, your gate man would attend to them first before they come inside the house. So they allow us to enter text, numbers, sounds, images, and even biometrics. So without your gate man, people cannot visit you. So without input devices, human beings cannot communicate with the computer. So from traditional devices like keyboards and mice to futuristic ones like brainwave readers, input devices are constantly evolving to make human-computer interaction faster, easier, and more natural. You see, very soon, Seth, we don't know. Keyboards might be gone with the way input devices are evolving. Maybe in the next 10, 20 years, we might not be using keyboards anymore. We might just be telling the computer what we want to type. Instead of typing, we'll just tell it, type A for me, type B for me. You understand? And it will work. So let's dive deeper into more. So let's see types of input devices, couple of input devices that we have. So input devices can be categorized based on how they capture entry data. So now in the next things we are going to be talking now, we are categorizing input devices based on how they capture and enter data into the computer. So we categorize them based on how they capture or how they take in data into the computer. The first one is input devices that take in text. Input devices that take in text. So this has to do with, these are used to enter letters, numbers, and characters. So your keyboard is one of them. All right. The keypad, if you go to ATM machine, your calculator, POS machines, they use keypad. Even your phone also use keypad. All right. Your phone also use keypad. So these are kind of input devices that are used to type in text or letters or numbers, characters. Okay, so they are text input devices. We have pointing devices. They are used to control the pointer or cursor on the screen. So we have the mouse. All right, mouse is a pointing device because we use it to control the pointer or cursor on the screen. We have the trackball. This is ball-based stationary input. We have the touchpad used in laptops and phones. Okay, sorry. The ones we use on phones are touchpads, not keypads. All right, keypads are those ones we see in the ATM machine calculators. All right, but touchpad are the ones we see on touchscreen laptops and mobile phones. We also have the stylus or digital pen. So this is used for drawing or writing on tablets. Of course, you have seen some people writing on their tablets. So this is called a digital pen. So use it to draw or write on tablets. Okay. We also have the type of input device that are taking images and videos. So we use this kind of input devices to capture pictures and videos. One is scanner, the scanner. Another one is digital camera that captures still images and videos. We also have webcam that record videos. Webcam that record videos. My webcam is actually on now. That is why it's recording my screen. So my webcam is used to record my screen, the screen. That's why you're seeing this. So as I'm making this video now, my webcam is recording my screen. We also have input devices that take in audio. So they are used to capture only sound. So these are the microphones. So as I am talking right now, the microphone of my computer is recording my voice. We also have MIDI keyboard for musical inputs. So for these are for people who do music, they use it to record music. We also have voice recognition devices. They use it to convert speech to text. So you see this more often in AI. So when you talk to AI will recognize your speech and convert it to text. All right. We also have the touch and gesture input devices. They are used to direct interaction via touch or body movement. All right. So we have the touch screen, smartphones, tablets, kiosks. We have motion sensors, dictate body or hand movement. So these are different types of input devices, touch screen, motion sensors, gesture recognition devices. They track your hand or your eye movement. This is amazing. Okay. So we have gaming and special purpose input devices. They are used for gaming and simulation. Joystick is used for flight simulators and in games. Game controller or gamepad are used in Play Store, PlayStation, Xbox. VR, virtual reality, is used. VR controllers are used in virtual reality for immersive experiences. Okay. We also have biometric input devices. They are used for security and identification. If I'm too fast, please, you can pause the video and then resume it, or you can slow it down, okay? They are used for security and identification, fingerprint scanners, face recognition cameras, iris or retina scanner, high security access, okay? So there are just a lot, okay? So we have data reading and recognition devices. They are used to read special marks, codes, or characters. Barcode reader is a data reading and recognition device used to read special marks and codes or characters. So they read product barcode in shops, OCR, optical character recognition. They convert printed text to digital text. Optical character recognition, they convert printed text to digital text. Like I have already said, some of these things you don't even need to bother about them. But you need to, for at least after taking this class, you understand how input devices really work now. Because even as a computer programmer, you need to understand how to collect information from users. Do you understand? So that is why you need to understand input devices, how they work. As a computer programmer, you'll be getting information, you'll be getting data. You could write software that need to get data from users. So if you don't understand how input devices work, it might not make sense. It will be hard for you. So, but you don't need to understand all the whole types of input devices. So we have the optical mark recognition. It reads marked answers in exams and surveys. So optical mark recognition, they read marked answers in exams and surveys. So they use it in exams and surveys. Optical mark recognition. Optical character recognition converts printed text to digital text. Optical mark recognition. These are data reading and recognition devices. Magnetic stripe reader reads data on debit or credit cards. Okay, so when you go to POS or even your ATM machine, when you put your ATM card, all right, they use magnetic stripe reader to read the data on your ATM machine. So we also have the RFID reader, read data from RFID tags. Okay, so you can see that there are a lot of input devices. All right, just imagine now, you could be wondering, if I go to ATM machine or if I go to POS and put my ATM card, how would they read and understand what is written on the ATM card? So there's a special input device for that. So the magnetic stripe reader, they will read the data on your debit and credit cards. Okay. Types of input devices, we have sensors as input devices. So these are special devices that sense physical changes. They will sense physical changes around you. So we have temperature sensor for weather and machine, smart devices. We have GPS receivers to track location. So when a location, somebody's location changes, they actually sense it. We have motion and proximity sensors. They dictate movement. So we now future and advanced input devices, like you have already known, brain-computer interface, they are controlled by our thoughts. Haptic devices, gloves or suits that give touch feedback in VR. Eye tracking devices, they control with eye movement. All right, you can see that there are a lot of input devices. So, but you don't have to cram all of them, but at least you now know how input devices work, how they collect data from users and convert it to data form that the computer can read. So let's talk about how input devices convert human actions into computer signals. So when you do something, when you type in something, when you make a gesture, how does input devices convert it? Okay, so when you press a key on the keyboard, when you type in a letter like A, all right, now the keyboard will convert it. That's the conversion is the keyboard will send an electric signal for that key using a coding standard like ASCII or Unicode. So there's something we call ASCII and Unicode. We'll teach you more about them. So, but the thing is that, like I said, some of the things I'll be mentioning here, you might not be familiar with it, but don't worry. At least I have just mentioned it, so you're going to see it explained elsewhere during this program. Okay. So the keyboard will send an electric signal for that key. So when I type A now on my keyboard, the keyboard will convert it to something we call ASCII or Unicode. So this is the form that the computer understands. Okay. So, and the result, so the computer receives it as binary number. So when you type in A, the computer will receive this binary number 0100000001. You see? So, like I said, you don't need to grab everything I'm saying here, but at least you can understand how input devices work. So when you type A on your computer now, on your keyboard, the keyboard will convert it to zeros and ones. And this is the form that the computer understands. So this is data. 01000 is data. And in this case, it means A. So example, when you type A, the binary number this is stored and displayed on the screen. Okay, so the keyboard will convert it to the form that the computer understands. All right. So when you speak into a microphone, the microphone will convert the sound wave, analog signals. They will convert it into electrical signals, which are then digitized using analog to digital converter. So you can see that when we do something, the microphone or the keyboard, the input device, they would convert it to the form that computer would understand. So the computer stores it as a digital audio, and they are in binary numbers. So when you say hello, saying hello is recorded as a digital sound file. All right, it's not recorded as sound, it's recorded as a digital sound file. Don't worry, as you go on, you're going to understand all these things. When you touch the screen with your finger, so I'm talking about touch screens. When you touch the screen with your finger, the touch screen senses your touch location and then converts it to electrical signal. But don't worry, we are not going to be explaining how they do all this conversion, but you need to understand that they do this. They actually convert anything that you do using the input devices, they convert it. So the operating system will now interpret the coordinates of your touch, and then, so when you tap play button, when you tap play button, so tapping play button starts a video. So when you tap on play, a video will start. So that is touch screen. So there's a way the computer does all these things, but it is beyond the scope of this class. But now we are making you understand that whatever you do with input devices, they will convert it to the form that computer would understand. So when you use the scanner, you place a paper on the scanner will shine light on the paper, sensors detect the reflected light, and is converted into digital image data. Wonderful. So all of them have conversion, they have to convert it. So the computer will receive a digital copy of the document. So a photo scanned becomes an image file. So when you scan a document, computer will convert it to an image file. So when you use the mouse to point and click, you move the mouse or click a button. That's the action. So sensors inside the mouse will dictate the movement. So there are sensors inside the mouse that you're using. So they will dictate the movement, all right? And then translate them into signals. So depending on the movement and the clicks that you have made, the sensors inside of the mouse will dictate them and convert them into a form that the computer would understand. So the pointer moves or an icon is selected. So for general purpose, human action, so typing, speaking, touching, scanning, moving, anything at all that has to do with the way you give input to the computer or data to the computer, the device sensors will pick up the action. So there are device sensors that are built inside into the input devices that dictate anything that you do, whether you type, whether you make gestures, whether you touch, whether you speak. They would sensor it and pick up the action that you have made. They will convert that your action into electrical signals, and then they will digitize it, converting it into binary code that the computer would understand. So the CPU processes the binary data, and then that is it. So in summary, input devices act as translators between humans and computers. They act like gate men. They act like translators. So they take human actions, then convert them into digital signals and send them to the computer for processing. All right. So the last thing we'll talk about here now is the difference between manual and automatic input. We have manual input devices and automatic input devices. So data in manual input device, data is entered into the computer by hand, usually by pressing keys. So we have typing letters, numbers, commands with a keyboard. The characteristics are they are slower because each key must be pressed individually. So manual input devices are slower than automatic input devices. So that means very soon manual input devices might go. Yes, that's the future. Since we are having automatic input devices that are better, they might go in the future. So it requires more human effort and time. And remember, when it comes to computer, the whole goal is to make life easier for human beings. So if it requires more human effort and time, that means one day to be thrown away and other better methods will come. They are prone to typing errors, spelling mistakes, wrong key pressed, so you can see the disadvantages. And then they are useful for tests, essays, assignments, and commands. So these are manual input devices. These are their characteristics. So, but automatic input devices, something like the barcode scanner, data is entered into the computer automatically with the help of machines or sensors. A barcode scanner reads product codes instantly. So characteristics, much faster than typing. There are less effort is required by the user, more accurate, very low error rates. Now, best for large amounts of repetitive data, something like in the supermarket, they use the barcode scanners to, to take data, inventory management. So you can see that automatic input devices are faster and better than manual. So when we compare them, what method do they use to take data? For manual input, they are typed by human beings, but for automatic, they are captured by machine or sensors. When we talk about their speed, manual input devices are slower, automatic are faster. When it comes to accuracy, they are prone to human errors. I mean, the manual input are prone to human errors, but the automatic input devices are more accurate. When it comes to effort, it requires more effort to use the manual input, but requires less effort to use the automatic input. So they are best for manual input devices are best for tests, essays, and commands, while automatic input devices are best for repeated product data and inventory. Okay. So in summary, keyboards, which is a manual input device, user types data one character at a time. For barcode scanner, which is an automatic input device used in supermarkets, machine reads and enters data instantly with high accuracy. So thank you very much. Please, if you have any confusion, if you have any question, please reach out to us. All right. Thank you very much and see you in the next class.